It's a common misconception that single mothers are inherently less happy or more emotionally distressed than their married counterparts. Society often paints a picture of hardship, struggle, and an overwhelming burden when discussing single parenthood. However, a surprising statistic challenges this narrative directly. Studies indicate that a significant percentage of single mothers report higher levels of overall life satisfaction and personal happiness compared to their peers in traditional two-parent households, particularly when controlling for socioeconomic factors. This isn't to say their lives are without challenges. Rather, it highlights an overlooked capacity for resilience, ingenuity, and profound personal growth that often thrives in the face of adversity. This counterintuitive finding immediately forces us to question our preconceived notions. How can a demographic so frequently associated with struggle often find a deeper, more profound sense of joy? The answer lies not in the absence of challenges, but in the extraordinary human capacity to adapt, redefine priorities, and forge happiness on one's own terms. This journey isn't a testament to easy living, but a powerful affirmation of the strength found in self-reliance, the clarity gained through personal struggle, and the unique, often unconventional paths single mothers forge towards fulfillment. It's a journey that redefines happiness, moving it beyond societal benchmarks and rooting it firmly in individual empowerment and an unyielding spirit. This essay will delve into such a journey, exploring how one single mother defied expectations, not by minimizing her struggles, but by transforming them into stepping stones toward a remarkably fulfilling and joyful new life. Our story centers on Sarah, a single mother whose life, by all outward appearances, seemed perpetually stuck in a cycle of demand and depletion. A quick glance at her busy days would reveal the familiar pressures: early morning routines to get her two young children, Emily and Tom, ready for school, a demanding but unfulfilling job as a part-time administrative assistant that barely covered rent and groceries, and evenings filled with homework, dinner, and the endless quest for a few quiet moments after the kids were asleep. Sarah's initial emotional state was a complex tapestry of weariness, quiet desperation, and a gnawing sense that she was merely surviving, not living. The vibrant, ambitious young woman she once was had been eclipsed by the relentless responsibilities of solo parenthood. Yet, beneath the surface of exhaustion and routine, a spark flickered, a quiet but persistent yearning for something more, a whisper of a forgotten dream, happiness. It was a daring aspiration, almost audacious given her circumstances. Society, and often her own internalized monologue, told her that her life was set, immutable, defined by her role as a single mother. True happiness, a life of purpose beyond mere survival, seemed a luxury she couldn't afford, a fantasy relegated to a past she barely recognized. But the quiet whisper grew louder, fueled by moments of stark clarity. Watching her children's unbridled joy at a simple park outing, or catching her reflection one too many times and not recognizing the tired eyes looking back. She began to envision a life where her identity was solely defined by her marital status or the endless needs of others. A life where she could pursue her own growth, reclaim her passions, and cultivate genuine, sustainable joy for herself and her children. This wasn't a superficial desire for fleeting pleasures, but a deep-seated longing for a holistic transformation, a profound shift in her circumstance and inner landscape, began as a nascent hope gradually solidified into a firm resolve to embark on a profound journey of self-discovery and transformation, not just for a new life, but for a truly happy one. This narrative, therefore, promises to trace the winding path of Sarah's courage, resilience, and unwavering belief in her ability to redefine her destiny. It is a testament to the indomitable human spirit, as capacity to not only endure, but to flourish, even when the odds seem stacked against it. Her quest for a better future, for a life brimming with authenticity and joy, is universally resonant, touching upon the fundamental human desire for growth, meaning, and connection, irrespective of one's starting point or perceived limitations. Through Sarah's story, we will explore the triumphs and tribulations that pave the way to a deeply personal and hard-won happiness, demonstrating that the pursuit of a fulfilling life is not merely a privilege, but a fundamental human right achievable through determination and self-belief. The path Sarah now resolved to tread was fraught with obstacles, many of which are intimately familiar to single mothers across the globe. Her before state was a vivid illustration of the multifaceted challenges that often conspire to make the pursuit of happiness seem like an insurmountable luxury. Foremost among these was the relentless financial strain. Sarah's part-time administrative assistant role, while providing a modicum of steady income, was a constant tightrope walk. Every month was a meticulously calculated exercise in scarcity, a dizzying juggle of bills, groceries, and the ever-present needs of 2 growing children. Budgeting wasn't a matter of allocating discretionary funds, but a desperate attempt to make ends meet, often requiring painful compromises. Housing, though currently stable, was a perpetual worry. The specter of rent increases loomed large, threatening to destabilize the fragile ecosystem she had painstakingly built for her family. There was no safety net, no second income to absorb unexpected expenses like a child's sudden illness or a car repair. The pressure of being the sole provider was an unceasing hum in the background of her consciousness, a constant reminder that any misstep could have devastating consequences for Emily and Tom. This financial burden often fed into feelings of inadequacy and a pervasive sense of being trapped, limiting opportunities for her children and herself. Beyond the material struggles, the emotional and psychological burdens weighed heavily on Sarah. Loneliness, a silent but potent adversary, often crept in during the late hours after the children were asleep. The absence of a partner meant there was no one to share the daily anecdotes, no one to commiserate with about a particularly challenging day, and no one to lean on when her own strength faltered. This isolation was compounded by the sheer weight of sole responsibility for child rearing. Every decision, big or small, from school choices to discipline, from doctor's appointments to bedtime stories, rested squarely on her shoulders. There was no respite, no tag team partner to offer a break, leaving her perpetually exhausted, both physically and emotionally. The mental load was immense, a constant inventory of her children's needs, schedules, and emotional states, all while managing her own internal landscape. Adding to these internal struggles was the insidious emotional toll of societal judgments and stigma. Despite the growing number of single-parent households, an underlying societal narrative often casts single mothers in a less favorable light, subtly or overtly implying that they are somehow deficient or that their children are at a disadvantage. Sarah had experienced this firsthand from the well-meaning but ultimately condescending pity of some acquaintances to the subtle sidelong glances that communicated an unspoken judgment. These external pressures, coupled with her own internalized fears and self-doubt, chipped away at her self-esteem, making her feel perpetually on the defensive, as if she constantly needed to prove their worth. The dream of happiness, therefore, was not merely an individual aspiration, but a defiant act of self-reclamation against a tide of societal expectations and crushing realities. Her life before this resolve was characterized by a profound sense of diminishment, her own identity often subsumed by the role she was forced to play. This comprehensive picture of Sarah's struggles serves to underscore the magnitude of her subsequent journey, highlighting the sheer willpower and courage required to not only envision a better future, but to actively dismantle the barriers that stood in its way. It paints a portrait of a woman teetering on the edge of burnout, yearning for agency and joy, but shackled by circumstance and a world not always designed to support her. Simultaneously, Sarah understood that to truly escape the financial tightrope, she needed to enhance her earning potential. Her part-time administrative assistant role offered neither growth nor significant income, serving merely as a temporary stopgap. The thought of returning to education was daunting, especially with 2 young children, but the desire for a better future fueled her resolve. After extensive research into vocational training programs that offered flexibility and good job prospects, she decided to pursue a certification in web development, an area she found both intellectually stimulating and financially promising. This decision was not made lightly. It involved meticulously carving out time, late nights after the children were asleep, early mornings before they woke, and even utilizing those precious few hours granted by her aunt's babysitting. She enrolled in an online modular course, a format that allowed her to learn at her own pace and around her demanding schedule. The initial weeks were a blur of coding syntax and complex algorithms, often leaving her feeling overwhelmed and questioning her decision. There were moments of profound exhaustion where she considered quitting, but the vision of a more secure future for Emily and Tom and for herself kept her pushing forward. She downloaded free coding tutorials, joined online student forums for support, and practiced relentlessly, transforming her living room table into a makeshift study desk after the kids were in bed. As her skills grew, so did her confidence. She started building small personal projects, applying the theoretical knowledge to practical applications. This hands-on experience was crucial, not just for skill development, but also for building a portfolio that would impress potential employers. With her certification in hand, Sarah then aggressively pursued new employment opportunities. She revised her resume, meticulously highlighting her newly acquired technical skills alongside her transferable administrative experience. She networked through her college friend and the online parent forums, uncovering leads for companies known for offering good work-life balance and supportive environments. The job search itself was another test of her resilience, filled with rejections and the disheartening silence after applications. However, she refined her interview techniques, learned from each setback, and remained persistent. She wasn't just looking for a job. She was looking for a career that respected her capabilities, offered opportunities for advancement, and crucially provided the financial stability and flexibility she desperately needed as a single mother. Her determination paid off when she secured an offer as a junior web developer for a small, forward-thinking tech company. The salary was a significant improvement, and the company offered hybrid work options, a godsend for managing school pickups and unexpected sick days. This new role wasn't just a job. It was tangible proof that her efforts, her sacrifices, and her unyielding belief in herself were indeed leading her toward the brighter future she had dared to dream of. It was a testament to her resourcefulness, her ability to identify opportunities, and her courage to step outside her comfort zone, directly illustrating how proactive steps and unwavering determination could systematically address and overcome the challenges that had once seemed insurmountable. The transition to her new role as a junior web developer marked a significant turning point, but the true climax of Sarah's journey, the moment of profound realization that cemented her transformation, arrived approximately 8 months into her new career. It wasn't a sudden, explosive epiphany, but rather a crescendo built upon countless small victories and quiet affirmations of her newfound strength. The catalyst for this definitive shift occurred not in a moment of external triumph, but during an internal reflection, sparked by an unexpected event at work. One particularly challenging week, Sarah was tasked with leading a small, critical module for a new client project. The project was complex, demanding long hours and intense problem solving. There were moments of doubt, fears that she wasn't capable, and the familiar shadow of imposter syndrome creeping in. She found herself working late into the night after her children were asleep, recalling the days she had spent hunched over her kitchen table, learning to code. Yet this time felt different. She wasn't driven by desperation, but by a quiet confidence in her learned abilities. She meticulously debugged code, collaborated effectively with her team, and against the odds she had internally set for herself, delivered her module ahead of schedule and with commendation from her project lead. The specific climax moment, however, wasn't the congratulatory email itself, but unfolded the following Saturday morning. After a grueling work week, Sarah woke up naturally, not to the blare of an alarm or the urgent cries of her children, but to the gentle sunlight streaming through her window. For the first time in what felt like years, she felt genuinely rested, not just physically, but mentally. Emily and Tom were still asleep in their rooms. Instead of immediately launching into cleaning or catching up on chores, a routine that had long defined her weekends, she found herself walking silently to the kitchen to make a cup of coffee. As the aroma filled the air, she simply stood by the window, sipping her coffee, looking out at the quiet street. There was no overwhelming sense of dread for the day ahead, no mental checklist of insurmountable tasks. Instead, a wave of calm washed over her, followed by an unexpected surge of pride. It was in this serene moment that the full weight of her journey and her progress truly hit her. She mentally replayed the past 2 years, the financial anxieties that used to knot her stomach, the crushing loneliness that had been her constant companion, the long nights spent studying when every fiber of her being screamed for sleep, the rejections she faced during her job search, and the sheer audacity of daring to dream of a better life. She remembered the tired, defeated woman who had stared back at her from the mirror, and contrasted her with the woman standing there now, a woman who had single-handedly navigated a complete career change, built a supportive community, and was now successfully contributing circumstances. It was about the profound internal shift. She realized that the happiness she had so desperately sought wasn't a destination point or a reward bestowed upon her by external circumstances. It was an inherent state, just cultivated from within, forged in the crucible of her struggles, and nurtured by her relentless pursuit of growth. She saw clearly that her worth was not diminished by her single mother status, but rather amplified by her ability to thrive despite it. Her resilience wasn't just a survival mechanism. It was a powerful, beautiful engine for creation and transformation. In that quiet Saturday morning, Sarah felt an overwhelming sense of agency and self-possession. The narrative she had internalized of being perpetually overwhelmed and defined by her circumstances had irrevocably shattered. She was no longer just Sarah, the single mother struggling to get by. She was Sarah, the capable web developer, the resilient single mother, the woman who built a new life from the ground up. The societal stigmas that once pricked at her self-esteem now seemed like distant, irrelevant echoes. She realized she didn't need external validation to feel worthy, because she had validated herself through her actions, her determination, and her hard-won achievements. The happiness she felt wasn't fleeting joy, but a deep, abiding contentment that stemmed from a profound understanding of her own strength and resourcefulness. It was the radiant glow of self-respect earned through countless sacrifices and unwavering perseverance. This pivotal moment cemented her transformation, marking her emergence as stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever before. She was not only providing a more stable and joy-filled life for her children, but she was also living an authentic, purpose-driven life for herself. Her journey wasn't about escaping her past, but about integrating it into a powerful narrative of triumph, proving that one can indeed rebuild a life from scratch, not just to survive, but to truly flourish. This wasn't merely a personal realization. It was a profound testament to the human spirit's capacity for profound resilience and growth, a beacon for anyone who has ever felt lost or constrained by their circumstances. Sarah's remarkable journey, culminating in that quiet, coffee-scented Saturday morning, offers a profound tapestry of lessons for anyone navigating their own path towards happiness and self-fulfillment. The most overarching lesson woven through her narrative is the indispensable power of self-belief. It was Sarah's gradual and hard-won conviction that she deserved more than mere survival, that she possessed the inherent capacity to effect change in her life, that truly initiated her transformation. This wasn't a naive optimism, but a deep-seated trust in her own potential, even when societal narratives and personal circumstances conspired to chip away at it. Her story powerfully illustrates that before any external changes can manifest, an internal commitment to one's own worth and capabilities must take root. Closely intertwined with self-belief was her unwavering determination. From the long, sleepless night spent coding to the relentless pursuit of new job opportunities, Sarah's journey was not defined by a single stroke of luck, but by a consistent, arduous application of effort and will. She faced setbacks, moments of exhaustion, and the temptation to succumb to comfortable stagnation, but her unyielding resolve to create a better life for herself and her children propelled her forward. This determination was a continuous, active choice, a testament to the idea that sustained effort, even in the face of daunting odds, can gradually, yet fundamentally alter one's reality. Another critical takeaway from Sarah's experience is the often underestimated yet deeply crucial role of community support. In her initial isolation, the sheer weight of responsibility was almost unbearable. It was only when she actively sought out and cultivated a network of support, from her reconnected college friend to the online single-parent forum to her surprisingly helpful aunt, that she found the breathing space and emotional sustenance necessary to pursue her dreams. This collective embrace wasn't just practical, though the babysitting and shared advice were invaluable. It was psychological, knowing she wasn't alone, that there were others who understood her struggles and championed her goals, provided a vital wellspring of encouragement. This highlights that while individual determination is essential, human beings are inherently social creatures, and genuine transformation is often a collaborative effort, nurtured by the empathy and solidarity of others. Furthermore, Sarah's narrative underscores the immense power of embracing vulnerability. It took courage for her to admit her struggles to others, to reach out for help, and to confront her own deepest fears and insecurities. In a society that often glorifies self-sufficiency to the point of isolation, her willingness to open up, to ask for assistance, and to be seen in her imperfect journey was a radical act of strength. It was through this vulnerability that she fostered genuine connections, discovered unexpected allies, and created a more authentic and resilient version of herself. This demonstrates that true strength often lies not in concealing one's weaknesses, but in acknowledging them and allowing others to support you through them. Finally, Sarah's story serves as an inspiring testament to the fact that transformative change is achievable, regardless of initial circumstances. She began her journey from a place of profound financial strain, emotional exhaustion, and societal pressure. Yet, through a combination of deliberate action, internal fortitude, and strategic support seeking, she meticulously unraveled those constraints and built a life that was not only stable, but genuinely joyful. Her wisdom gleaned through these experiences includes the understanding that happiness is not an endpoint to be reached, but a state to be cultivated, a continuous process of self-discovery and growth. She learned that resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about learning how to bend without breaking, how to rise stronger after every fall. She came to realize that her past struggles were not liabilities, but powerful assets, shaping her into a more empathetic, capable, and purpose-driven individual. The key takeaways from her journey emphasize that the perception of being stuck is often just a temporary mental state, and that with a clear vision, relentless effort, and the courage to seek help, anyone can redefine their destiny and create a future brimming with the happiness they truly deserve. Her experiences prove that empowerment comes from within, but it flourishes best when nurtured by community and fueled by an unwavering belief in one's own capacity for greatness. Sarah's extraordinary journey, a powerful narrative of resilience, determination, and the human spirit's capacity for profound transformation, reaches its natural conclusion, but the impact of her story extends far beyond its final words. It serves not just as an inspiring tale, but as a potent catalyst for reflection and action in the lives of those who encounter it. If Sarah's experiences have resonated with you, if her courage has ignited a spark of recognition For your own struggles or aspirations, we invite you to become an active participant in this ongoing dialogue about personal growth and the pursuit of happiness. Your voice, your story, and your insights are invaluable contributions to a community striving for empowerment and connection. We believe that shared experiences have the power to uplift, to validate, and to light the way for others who might be navigating similar challenges in the quiet corners of their own lives. We urge you, therefore, to take a moment and reflect on your own journey. Have you faced moments of profound struggle that felt insurmountable? Have you, like Sarah, found an inner strength you never knew you possessed? What transformations have you undergone, large or small, that have brought you closer to the life you envision for yourself and your loved ones? What were the pivotal moments that changed your perspective, or the unexpected sources of support that helped you along the way? We encourage you to share your personal stories of struggle, resilience, and triumph in the comments section below this video. Your transparency provides invaluable comfort and encouragement to others who might feel isolated or unsure of their path. Perhaps you are a single parent grappling with financial stress, loneliness, or societal judgment, and have found creative ways to overcome these hurdles. Maybe you've embarked on a brave new career path later in life, defying expectations and discovering untapped potential. Or perhaps you have simply learned a profound lesson about self-worth and inner happiness that you believe could benefit others. By sharing your journey, however unique or seemingly ordinary it may feel to you, you contribute to a rich tapestry of human experience, fostering a sense of community and reminding us all that we are interconnected in our quests for meaning and joy. This shared space becomes a powerful forum for mutual support, a place where triumphs are celebrated and challenges are met with collective empathy and wisdom. It bears a testament to the belief that no one should have to navigate life as complexities alone, and that collective wisdom can indeed illuminate even the darkest paths. Furthermore, for those who feel particularly inspired by Sarah's journey of self-discovery and are eager to delve deeper into strategies for personal development and resilience, we have curated additional resources specifically designed to support you on your own path. We invite you to continue your exploration of empowerment and growth by watching our companion video, Cultivating Inner Strength, Practical Strategies for Resilience in Everyday Life. This next video unpacks actionable steps and mindsets that can help you build the kind of unshakable inner foundation that Sarah developed over time. It draws on insights from various fields of psychology and personal development, offering tangible tools that you can integrate into your daily routine. From techniques for managing stress and cultivating mindfulness, to strategies for setting achievable goals and fostering a positive self-image, this video is designed to be a practical guide for anyone committed to their personal evolution. By engaging with this further content, you can transform the inspiration gleaned from Sarah's story into concrete, applicable strategies for your own life, providing a clear pathway for continued engagement and learning within our channel's comprehensive ecosystem of empowering content. Together, let us build a community not just of passive observers, but of active participants in the lifelong journey toward a more fulfilling, joyful, and resilient existence. Your journey, like Sarah's, has the potential to inspire countless others, and we are here to support you every step of the way.